The CMF Phone 1 dropped back in 2024 as this ridiculous budget powerhouse from nothing's sub-brand CMF, promising flagship energy at a bargain price. Now it's 2026, I've been living with mine for over a year, and I keep getting the same question: does it still hold up, or has it aged out? Let's break down exactly what daily life with this phone looks like right now. Starting with design, because this is still its strongest card. That plastic back could have felt cheap, but CMF turned it into a selling point with a screw-on modular system. You literally unscrew the back and swap in different colors or materials. Mine's rocking the light green plastic panel at the moment, though I've thrown on the orange vegan leather back plenty of times just for a change of pace. It feels genuinely premium in hand, grippy and textured, and the build is tough enough that most days you can skip a case entirely. It even shipped with a screen protector pre-installed. Small detail, but a nice one. The display holds up just as well. You're getting a 6.67-inch OLED panel, 1080p resolution, and a buttery 120Hz refresh rate. Colors are punchy, blacks are inky, and peak brightness lands around 1,200 nits, so outdoor visibility isn't an issue even in direct sun. The one nitpick: minimum brightness sits at roughly 2.4 nits, which is a touch high. Scrolling in a pitch black room can feel a bit glaring. Outside of that, though, scrolling and streaming still feels smooth a full year in with zero complaints. Performance is where this phone continues to punch above its price. It's running MediaTek's Dimensity 7300 on a 4nm process with 8GB of RAM in most configurations, and it breezes through everyday tasks. Quick app launches, smooth multitasking, and even light gaming like Genshin Impact or PUBG runs well without serious throttling. It genuinely outperforms a lot of 2024 and 2025 mid-rangers and benchmarks, and in real-world use, it doesn't feel like it's fallen behind newer budget competitors. Storage starts at 128GB with a 256GB option, and it still has a microSD slot, increasingly rare these days and a lifesaver if you're stockpiling photos or music. Now the cameras, this is where the age shows most. It looks like a dual camera setup, but really you've got a 50MP main sensor paired with a nearly pointless 2MP depth sensor for portraits. No ultra-wide, no telephoto, so even a small zoom tanks detail fast. Auto mode can produce washed out or flat colors. Exposure occasionally misses, and low-light shots get noisy with ghosting and softness. That said, it's not a disaster. Daylight portraits look natural with pleasant background blur, and some people actually prefer these more muted, realistic tones over oversaturated competitors. Video is solid too, with 4K recording and impressively good stabilization for the price, though zooming in still introduces noise. If photography is your priority, this will let you down, but for casual shots and social posts, it gets the job done without hassle. Battery life is still dependable. The 5,000 mAh cell gets me through a full day comfortably, averaging 6 to 7 hours of screen-on time across browsing, streaming, and some gaming, and it manages about 11 hours of straight video playback and testing. Charging at 33W is quick, a full charge in about 68 minutes. And while there's no wireless charging at this price point, it still beats plenty of rivals stuck at 18 to 25 watts. On the software side, it's now running Nothing OS 4.0 on Android 16, after picking up that update late last year. It brought smoother animations, deeper customization, and the signature glyph-style flair the brand is known for. The interface feels clean and fun, gesture navigation is precise, and everything runs fluidly for a budget device. The catch: CMF originally promised only 2 major OS updates and 3 years of security patches, so Android 16 is likely the last big software jump this phone will see. Security patches may continue trickling in for a bit, but if you need 5+ years of support, look elsewhere. Still, reaching Android 16 on a phone this affordable is respectable. Audio comes from a single bottom-firing speaker, loud and clear enough for calls and podcasts, though lacking real bass for music. Haptics remain decent for everyday notifications. So, the big question for 2026, is it still worth buying? Pricing has eased since launch. It originally ran $199 to $239 for the 8GB per 128GB model in the US. Now you can find it new for roughly $176 to $235 on Walmart, Amazon, or Nothing's own site, depending on stock and configuration, with 256GB versions running $235 to $299. Used and refurbished units on Swappa or eBay average $175 to $192 in good condition, with patient shoppers landing deals around $150 to $170. Trade-in or resale value sits somewhere between $50 and $110. At under under $200 new or less used. This is a steal, especially with newer budget phones creeping toward $250 to $300. You're getting that standout modular design, strong performance for the price, a vibrant OLED display, and expandable storage, all things that remain rare in this category. The camera and limited long-term software support are the real trade-offs. If you want better cameras, longer support windows like the 5 to 7 years Samsung or Google offer, or newer hardware, look at something like the Galaxy A16 5G, the Moto G Power 2026, or even CMF's own Phone 2 Pro at around $279 with upgraded specs. After a full year with it, I'd still buy another one if I were on a tight budget and wanted personality over polish. It's not perfect, but it's the kind of phone that makes you smile every time you pick it up. Would you still buy the CMF Phone 1 in 2026? Or are you holding out for something newer? Let me know in the comments, drop a like if this helped, and subscribe for more honest reviews. Thanks for so much watching, guys. See you next time.